Discussion, yes, go right ahead.
We've talked about this at length, but my position is that if we're a city that values sidewalks, which I believe we are, and that's not just based on anecdotal. We actually did some studies back when I was on the Livonia Marketing Consortium. It was about 10 years ago, of residents. And one of the things that we found that residents who move here appreciate most about our city relative to the cities they came from is the network of sidewalks. As somebody who grew up here, as somebody who lives here with 4 children now, it's certainly something that I appreciate. I think it's something distinctive about our city. I know of other people just through my work contacts that have moved to other communities from here, and it's the thing they comment that they miss. While not every street in our city needs a sidewalk, there's a number of most of our streets, I would argue, are set up to have sidewalks. And this street would be no exception, as evidenced by the fact that there's a significant number of properties on the opposite side of the street from where we're talking here, including some on the side of the street that we're talking here, that have sidewalks already. The rationale for waiving a sidewalk is perfectly understandable. We do have a patchwork of sidewalks on this street. And so by requiring a sidewalk at this spot where this new home is being built, it will be, for the time being, a sidewalk to nowhere. But my position is that part of the reason for that is because councils in the past have been inconsistent with how they've applied these. And I think it's important that if we value sidewalks as a city, that we be consistent on streets that we see them making sense long-term in requiring that, or leaving that sidewalk requirement in place where they make sense. One last point. Just today, I wasn't looking for it, I was looking for something else, but I actually came across in the Livonia Vision 21 plan, I'll give a shout out to what Mark Termina talked about earlier, the master planning process that's in place right now. You can go to the Livonia Vision 21 website, and there's a pretty interesting presentation on there of data about our city, just to get people's minds in the right place for those public open houses that we're going to have on that topic next week. One of the pages on that document is a sidewalk plan for the city. I'm not exactly sure what the origin of that plan is, but I just noticed it today, and this very street that we're talking about is identified as a street that needs sidewalks. So for all those reasons, I'd like to deny this sidewalk requirement tonight, this request for, I'd like to offer for the, that we send to the,
Like a street, roads, and plats, you know.
would it be the Infrastructure Committee? Capital Outlay and Infrastructure Committee, the subject of a master plan for sidewalks. It may be there already, to be honest with you. I'm not sure of that, but I think, especially for someone like Mr. Duggan, who's here for these types of things often, he's exactly right, that I think it's worth looking at again, and it'd be wonderful if we had a master plan that when these things come, it's basically a fait accompli ahead of time, what it's going to be based on that master plan. So let's throw that in a committee, and as time allows, we can.
Okay, let us get support.
Oh, yeah, there is that, isn't there?
Yes, sir.
I do that all the time.
Supported by Councilman
Thank you,
Kurtzman.
Mr.
Continue,
Kurtzman.
go ahead, Mr. Bahr.
I said my piece, sorry.
Okay,
Out of
that's all
order.
right, that's all right.
A sidewalk waiver.